Hello, Merry Christmas, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Feliz Navidad to everybody. Merry Christmas. Today is the 25th of December. I hope you guys enjoyed Christmas Eve dinner with all your friends and family. We did the same thing here in our home in Miami. Had family coming over, and we just had a great old time. Today, I'm just chilling out, relaxing, and wanted to comment really briefly on some news, some updates coming out in the news, sporting news, where there seems to be some type of an agreement between the Teofimo Lopez camp and Sufriel Matias. Apparently, they're finalizing a deal for a March 15th fight for Lopez's WBO junior welterweight title. Okay, this is what the sources have been told to ESPN on Monday. The 140-pound title fight, Lopez's third defense, will headline Top Rank Boxing on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. There's no location set, but the bout will take place in the U.S. Lopez 21-1 with 13 knockout, ESPN's number one junior welterweight. The former undisputed lightweight champion is coming off a June decision victory over Canadian level fighter Steve Claggett. And before that, Lopez struggled in a decision win over Jermaine Ortiz. And you all know what happened against Sander Martin. All right, Matias 21-2 and 21 knockouts. He's ESPN's number 8 boxer at 140 pounds. He lost his IBF junior welterweight title to Lee Amparo in June in a major upset in Puerto Rico, where he was born and still resides. The 32-year-old volume puncher is one of the sport's top action fighters. Matias rebounded from his second loss with a second-round TKO of career opponent ranked number 100, Roberto Ramirez, in November. Matias avenged his previous loss with a 9th-round TKO of Petros Anayan in January 2022. And then Matias won the IBF title with a 5th-round TKO of Jeremias Ponce in February 2023 and stopped Shohayon Ergashev in round 5 later that year in his lone successful defense. Okay, this is what ESPN says. What do I think, guys? Well, a lot of people are jumping on board and just celebrating this great fight in anticipation of the events of next year. But I have to take this news with a grain of salt, especially coming out of Teofimo Lopez. And I really do hope this fight gets made. There's a lot of bad blood between Teofimo Lopez and Sufriel Matias. Things have been said. Teofimo Lopez in the past. And if you have seen my previous episodes, to those guys that have short memory, you'll know that I've been looking forward to a fight between Teofimo Lopez and Sufriel Matias for a very, very long time. Things have been said between both camps. Teofimo Lopez has insulted the Puerto Rican people, has insulted everybody, basically, and is now apparently come to terms with Sufriel Matias' camp and a possible fight next year, all right? Title fight. I say I take this news with a grain of salt because you can't believe anything Teofimo Lopez says. And I really, really have my doubts that Teofimo Lopez will come through and come up with some kind of lame excuse at the last moment. And that is the reason why I'm not currently celebrating like a lot of people out there on YouTube. Oh, this fight is done, No, guys. This is not done by a long shot, all right? This is a fight that some news that has been thrown out there to see what the interest is in this potential great event between two fighters that actually don't like each other. I really think that Teofimo Lopez, if he comes through and he fights Sufriel Matias, he's going to prove to everybody that he is serious about his career. Moving forward in 2025, he's willing to take serious opponents. He hasn't looked good in his last 3 fights, in my opinion. He's lost 2 of them against Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin, and he struggled against Steve Claggett. As far as Matias, we all know what happened against Lee Amparo. That was not the Matias we're used to. Something happened there. He comes back with, I don't know what to call it, what kind of a performance you can call that. He even knew after the fight he didn't do his little dance that he does when he beat Roberto Ramirez, 100th ranked part-time boxer. All right. What do I think, if this fight comes to fruition, what do I think that Subriel Matias must do? And you all know what I've said here in the past. There's 1 or 2 guys out there that seem butthurt when I say, when I suggest things that Matias should do, and they don't understand. And these are just fanboys, and these are just yes men that fanatics. You know, you can find them everywhere. You can find them in the Canelo camp. You can find them in the Mayweather camp. You can find them as part of these short-sighted individuals who can't distinguish the difference between what is constructive criticism and opinions versus, practically hating on a particular fighter. And as you all know, I've been supporting Matias for a very long time. I want the best for him, but I gotta be honest when I make my comments, and I can freely tell you my opinion on what Subriel Matias should do in order to continue his track to becoming a world champion. All right, so if this fight does happen, which I have my doubts, and I really hope it does, but if it sure happens, the 10 things I mentioned on my previous episode that Matias has to do, he has to do for this fight. If he stays in Puerto Rico, he trains in Puerto Rico. If he comes anywhere close to the shape he was in, or puts the performance he actually put out earlier this year against Roberto Ramirez, he's gonna get knocked out. I don't think the Subriel Matias that we saw in his last 2 fights has a shot against Teofimo Lopez. I really don't, guys. There's 2 different Subriel Matias. The Subriel Matias that trained with Panda in Jiquipilco, and the Subriel Matias that is training in Puerto Rico. I'm not blaming the coach. I'm not blaming the trainer. I'm just saying facts. Look at post-Paro and pre-Paro fight, and you'll see the shape that Matias was in, and these are all facts. I'm not speculating, guys. Matias was a fighter that threw about 100 punches, 80 to 100 punches per round. Super aggressive, in great shape, great chin. He started moving his head a little bit more, working more on his defense. You don't see that in Matias anymore. And if he fights anywhere close to the way he fought against Roberto Ramirez on his last fight, and he does that against Teofimo Lopez, he's going to get shut out. He probably gets stopped. So when I say, in all honesty, and I see a lot of people are delusional, that a Matias that is not completely trained properly, doesn't have the best sparring partners. I'm not saying he's not finding good sparring partners in Puerto Rico. I'm not saying that he does not have a good coach. I know Nelson Adams from back in the island. I used to go train in that gym back in the day. I know him personally. I know John Molina personally. I know those guys. And these are great people. But when you have, like I said before, when you go to a remote location, you concentrate on, you stay away from your family, you stay away from all types of distractions, you become a hungrier fighter, a better fighter, and that has been proven time and time again. It's not something that I just made up. So all these guys that are fanboys, or I think there's one or two that make comments on this page. And I'm referring exactly to you guys. You know who you are. If you know boxing, you know what I'm saying is true. All right? A boxer needs to be focused. Tell me that's not a fact. A boxer needs to concentrate on his fights, have no distractions, be away from his family, be hungry, train a remote location, find an excellent coach, trainer, focus on his weakness. In this case, Matias has to focus on his defense. And these are just some of the things that Matias has to do in order to prevail and to become a champion again. And these are things that I'm saying because they are facts. These are facts. These are things that I see that Matias has to do in order to improve. Right? As far as Teofimo, he's got poor footwork. If he fights somebody that pressures him, he's going to start moving around a lot more. He says he's better off fighting somebody that pressures him. Well, we'll see that. With a fully trained Matias, 100% Matias, the Matias that fought Ergashev, the Matias that fought the second fight with Ananyan, that Matias can give Teofimo Lopez nightmares and can actually stop Teofimo Lopez. The Matias from now that I'm seeing does not make it to the last round. All right, against Teofimo Lopez. So he has to make a decision. Hopefully it's the right decision. Maybe I am wrong. Hey man, I'm not infallible, but maybe he can train that way in Puerto Rico. Maybe he can achieve that pre-paro type of fighter that he was, hungry, relentless, a punching machine, a destructor, that kind of person that I saw, that I called a generational fighter, somebody that I actually followed, and he was my favorite boxer. He was my favorite fighter. Yes, he was. And you'll know it. I've said it here in this channel. I've had many episodes just based on Matias, talking about Matias and how people were constantly avoiding Matias and not trying to fight this destructive punching machine, this Terminator, the boogeyman of the 140-pound division, they called him. El cuco de las 140 libras. El orgullo maternillo, Subriel Matias. All right? Well, we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. I truly hope this fight gets made. I have my doubts. Like I said, I don't believe anything coming out of the Teofimo Lopez camp. I will not believe that this fight is going to be made until I see Teofimo Lopez inside the ring on March next year. But anyway, guys, until next time, I hope you have an excellent Merry Christmas. God bless you all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, all right? Subscribe to this channel if you like the content. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. And you keep on scrolling and go to the other channels where you hear what you want to hear. Where you hear yes men, not talking about, the reality of boxing or what a boxer needs to do in order to achieve greatness and legacy and a great future for his family. All right? You don't want to hear the truth. Don't tune into this channel. I don't pull any punches, guys. I talk from the heart, and I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. God bless you all. Until next time, this is Coach Mario, owner head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, saying hasta la vista, feliz Navidad, and peace.